Welcome to the today's sessions MMPM005 Block 4 Unit 13 Managing Demand and Capacity in Services. So today we are going to cover that is introduction on demand and capacity, understanding demand patterns, strategies for matching capacity and demand, yield management, managing customer waiting, and the final one is service guarantees. So capacity and demand, that in case of product that is different, and in case of services that is different. So product cases mostly the demand being verified on the basis of that stock can be maintained, but services stock cannot be maintained. So as it is a perishable item, and the both service provider and the clients must be present when you are doing for the service delivery. So that's why it cannot be stored. So that's why it is very much essential that service capacity we need to know, and the demand, how the capacity can able to fulfill the demand. So many service business frequently find it difficult to match supply and demand. So it is very often happening if you are going to consider hotel industries or flight or any service organization, banks. So we'll find this kind of problems arising very often. At times there may be too much of demand, or sometimes there is too little of demand. So if you are going to talk regarding that the movie halls and restaurants, weekend you will find the demand is very high, and the rest of the weeks we may not find that occupancies are very much free. So people are unable to come during those days as holidays are not there. So inability to synchronize supply and demand has a significant capacity on the service organizations. And when the demand is greater than the capacity, through high cost some extent can be done to manage the demand. And when the demand is low in relation to the fixed capacity, then that particular time underutilization of the services, sometimes also they are charging less for that. Now, understanding demand patterns. So first condition is that excess demand. So when the demand is very high in the service sector, what kind of things are happening? The demand exceeds the maximum availability capacity. So the service organization unable to cope up with that situations. So this results in some customers being turned away. So there is a chance that there is a brand switching can be possible, that from one service organization to the next service organization people may shift. And also even for the customers receiving the service, the quality of service may get affected. So here, when demand is very high, sometimes what is it happening, in order to not to dissatisfy the customers, the service organizations are sometimes arranging some kind of things, like we can talk regarding the trains, then you are going to talk buses. That particular time, if it is a festival seasons, they are going to maintain that one, although they know it very well, the demand is very high. So some sorts of management they are going to do, but here the quality of the service is deteriorating. This is the excess demand case. Second is the demand exceeds the optimum capacity level. So we called it as an optimum, that what is the capacity the company can able to handle. And beyond that capacity, if the demand is more, then we will find that some extent the company can able to manage, and you will try to maximize the capacity what the demand is there in the market. And depending on the situations, interactions they are going to do with the clients to give as per their requirement, or some customizations can be possible. But when demand exceeds much more, that kind of facilities also cannot be possible, because the first target is to how to satisfy or how to capture most of the demand, not that to individual customer satisfaction. Third is the demand and supply are balanced at the optimum capacity. So yes, when demand and supply is almost equal, so you'll find everybody will be happy, because the staff will be fully engaged, and at the same time customers can able to get also quality services. And the fourth condition, when excess capacity, when the demand is low. So mostly we have seen that in hotels, in off seasons the rooms are vacant. So that particular time, some extent the organizations, service organizations are trying to manage by charging less price, so that they can able to capture more customers. But as the demand is very low, still also this is underutilized. So that particular cases, it may be a loss for the service organization. So implications of the cyclical variations in the demand related capacity. Let us go through this one. So first line is coming your maximum available capacity. So demand exceeds that one. So second level is that the ideal use, and last one is the excess capacity, but demand is not there or less demand is there. So first condition, when the demand exceeds capacity, business lost because that particular exceeded demand, so company can unable to avail it or he cannot shift it. Sometimes shifting of services can also be possible, that if the hotels can able to manage that particular program like conference and another thing during the rainy season, so that particular time also that can be shifted, service can be shifted. But most of the cases what we have seen, this is a business loss of the service organizations. Second is demand exceeds optimum capacity, service quality declines. So here, in order to manage that particular capacity, because they are beyond the capacity what the service organization can able to provide. So if it is the condition, then some extent the quality of the service may deteriorate, and people may get also a little bit inferior service than the service what they are getting. And the third case is when we are going to say the capacity is matching to the demand. So that particular case is ideal use. Means people are very much satisfied. As per their requirement, the service provisions are there from the different companies or the service organizations. And last one is the excess capacity, that you have enough capacity to sell it in the market, but demand is very low. Like we can talk regarding when doctors are available or too many nursing homes are there and patients are limited, so that particular time that is excess capacity cannot be handled very well. And banks also during some of the time you will find the customers are less, so that particular cases, so excess capacity and but the demand is very low, so that particular cases it's a loss for the service organizations because they are unable to handle it fully because the customer's demand is not there in the market. Now manage demand and capacity. So predictable demand variations. So many businesses are subject to periodic cycle. So periodic cycle cases like we can say that the AC's demand in the winter season is less. Okay. Then the hotel demands are also, you'll find that during the rainy season is less, people are not coming. So it is a season based demands are there. Then day basis demands are also there, like weekends. The demand for flights, trains are more than the, and also you are going to find festive seasons, the demand is very high, and other times the demand is less. Next is the random demand fluctuations. At times, the demand pattern may appear to be random with no apparent predictable cycle. So we cannot predict about that one. Random, is it happening? Sometimes maybe because of some of the trains cancelled, some of the flight cancelled, like the demand surprisingly might have increased or something might have happened, or there is a strike. So surprisingly, there is a demand of the train like that. So these particular cases, this is very difficult, this kind of fluctuations, because unpredictable, unknown demands are there. So maintaining that capacity is quite difficult. And so such variations neither predictable or nor the company is also ready to provide the services. Now, strategies for matching capacity and demand. So, how to match the capacity and demand? So, what the capacity the service organization have and what is the demand in the market? Changing demand to fit supply, capacity, marketing mix strategy. So, what it is going to happen, that the demand is more or the demand is less. Two conditions are there. So first condition is demand is less but the supply is more. So that particular cases, mostly you are going to use the marketing strategies to position the product so that most of the people can able to purchase. Like we can talk regarding that when Eureka Foods company started with the vacuum cleaner and also the water purifier. So initial demand is very low, the capacity was very high, customers are not willing to purchase. It is because of the marketing mix strategies that product information goes viral, then sales promotions take place, then at the same time also the pricing strategies they played not to charge much more at the introductory stage, and they offer the basic product in the market. So demand, as per the supply, the demand day by day exceeded, and people have purchased this particular kind of vehicle, kind of machines. Like today also you can talk regarding the electric vehicles. So electric vehicles supply is much more, capacity is much more there in the market, but the purchase is very low. Very rare people are purchasing the electric vehicles. So what it is, it is highly education is required to the customers at the same time also, to inform the customers what is the utility of this particular product. In the future, there is a huge demand for the electric vehicles rather than the petrol vehicles. Now changing supply capacity to fit the demand. So demand is high, so how to do that one? So shifting this particular, so strategies you are going to make here, that might be you are going to shift this particular demand services that particular time, that, or you may categorize the people to maintain that one, that services, what is it available, so they can be get this particular kind of services in different timing. Like I can say that a movie's demand is very high, so what they're trying to do that, as the demand will be mostly in the evening hours for the movies, so what they're going to do, they will charge more priced for the evening movies and less price during the days movies, so that they can able to shift the capacity of people, those who will come during the evening time, they may come at also daytime. Now strategies for managing demand, how to manage this particular kind of demand when the demand is more, and at the same time also how you can able to prepare as per the demand in the product in the market. So as a service provider, you can alter the service offerings to even the demand, and the changes in service offering may be seasonal or based on days or weeks, like that. So hotels, mostly you will find that the demand of the hotel rooms in the weekend is very high, during festive season is very high, during holidays are very high. So what you can do, you may charge during that time very high priced, and you can reduce this particular, so you may make it as a package too, so where you can able to reduce this particular price structure, and you can do that one. So that is mostly product cases, or we can say this is the service cases, when it is based on the seasonal, it is affected by the seasonal. It is not like that the banks are going to do like this. So banks is not being affected by this particular seasonal, but yes, during the financial transactions or any changes in the RBI guidelines, that particular time might be crowd will be very high. So how to maintain that is also they are learning. Pricing the demand curve suggests that the quantity of product demanded varies with the price. So more is the price, less is the demand, and less is the price, more will be the demand. So many service marketers reduce price during the periods of low demand to increase the demand. So airlines for the low fares during late night hours, or low fares during also the daytime, that is early morning or something like that. So that is, or if it is a holidays or weekends, you may find that rate is higher. So many service marketers reduce price during the periods of the low demand. Airlines offer low fares during odd hours, like late night flights, movie theater offer lower price tickets. So they are going to do like this. Next is the place. So place of distribution, where the operations takes place, that where are you going to give these particular services, like hospitals and bank branches in the rural area, urban area. So urban area the demand will be very high, so rural area the demand may be less. Sometimes reverse can also be possible. Urban area as number of branches are more, the customers are less. But in the rural area, as the number of branches are less, so the number of customers are more. You will find. So that is, bank may change its timings on specific days or during specific periods. So nowadays also they have started in the urban area night branches, means you can do your operations in the night time also, and they have started daytime, night time. So morning hour also the some operations they are going on. Hospitals also, you'll find that satellite hospitals also being started, satellite clinics also being started. And sometimes hospitals, people are going for the special programs in the village area like cataract operations and other things, to give free services or to give a minimal charges to do this kind of services faster. So distribution play a major role for the maintaining this particular kind of demand. Now strategies for managing demand promotion. So you can also shift the demand by properly communicating with your customers. So there are customers, we can call them as a priority customers, those who are frequently coming, those who are less frequently coming, or those who are coming very rarely. So you may categorize the customers, and as per them, you can communicate those people regarding the information that which are the peak time. If you have any work, do not come at the peak time. You just come in which time is the less peak time. So that particular time you may call this customer to provide this kind of services. Or you may do like banks outlets, service outlets, and advertising you are going to make, so that it will be communicated very well to the customers, and they will get these particular services in the different retail outlets. Now, physical evidence to meet demand from various market segments. Airlines even alter the seating arrangement. So you will find that the seat arrangement might be going to change. So you will find in the bus services new seats being also, or stools being given there inside the bus, so that the demand can be adjusted by this particular thing. And there may not even be a business class section in some of the aircraft, like in trains also, like flights, like trains also, exclusive trains for the seating arrangement. There will be no berth for sleeping. So there are trains like that, so that maximum people can be accommodated. And if the train is completely moving during daytime, so it's not essential to go for berth. You just go for the seat arrangement so that people can shift from one place to another place by sitting. Next is people, regular loyal customers base may be given preferences. So customers, those who are coming frequently to the hotels, or they are spending more, or they are going for the more facilities they are paying. So that particular category of people. So there is a special advantages being given during the off seasons, that they should come, they can enjoy all kind of things they can able to enjoy, such as gym, then swimming pools, then other cases they can utilize for more times. For that reason, they are sometimes not inviting during the peak hours or peak days. So mostly they are invited during the odd hours, not like that evening, night, right? Mostly that is odd days might be going to ask to come to that particular. Even if they are asking during this particular season, so there is special treatments being given to those people. So that is demand predictable, or sometimes the demand is very high. They may not get the food or services as per their requirements. So that is the kind of things they are going to maintain with those people by saying that if you really require such kind of services with the quality, so definitely you come during this particular time, not in the peak time. Now the process can be made flexible, order to encourage customer participation when demand is high. So here you are encouraging the people to do that one, like you know it very well that some of the hotels they are calling the customers that to please come for the self help. Then these people can come and take in this particular kind of things with the service they need, and the service operations might also develop complementary services. So all kind of complementary services customers can give to other customers during that particular time. So for example, if a customer observes a long queue at the supermarket's ready to eat food section, they can decide to shop in the procedure sections instead return when the line is certain. So sometimes the booking also can be possible by using the tabs, or you can do that is through the internet facilities. So something the advantages the company is ready to give it to the loyal customers or the frequent coming customers. Now strategies for managing capacity. So how to manage this particular kind of capacity? So first is during using part-time employees. So every organizations you will find few part-times people are also there. Those who are working, it is very well, but still also there is a requirement of the part-time service holders, those who are going to help you during the process. Sometimes also, if it is overwork, sometimes also companies are trying to keep some part-time workers to stabilize this kind of problems what is arised because of that high demand of that kind of services. However, issues like attitude of part-time employees, training concerns, higher turnover, etc. have to be the properly addressed. So before you are joining any people from the outside, or you are going to take the outsourcing, so that particular time issues must be discussed with the people those who are working within the organization. Training must be given also properly so that they can able to add higher educations. Higher turnover is there also that particular time also. You can do that one. Employees working overtime, so sometimes intentionally the companies are going to put the employees for the overtime work. For that also they may give some extra amount of money, or the facilities, or the late night hours, the contents what they have covered, that is also they're trying to do. So this is higher cost overtime. They are going to utilize this particular kind of employees, and employees working overtime will be paid also for that. So besides training, that is they have to do the longer working time. So for longer working time, the company has to pay for that. Now cross training employees. So all the employees must be trained properly so that any particular time, any services the person concerned is not available, the third persons can able to come and do this kind of services. So this is highly essential that when banks, then airlines, when the so many people are working and one of the department people are not available, so the work may also affect it. So that's why they may call also other party, other department people to look after this particular department or to work on that, so that customer will not be unhappy regarding that. Now this helps is avoiding the underutilization of services and also increasing the efficiency of the employees. So you are not underutilized this particular resources, but also you are using those employees for the different purposes, and what purposes you have taken off, and you are trying to do that. Now, strategies for managing capacity is the scheduling. Scheduling is during the peak demand periods, people, facilities, and employment are used at full capacity. So during peak demand, so price and facilities and equipments doesn't have any problem. However, facilities and equipment, facilities and equipments are highly essential to get this one. And similarly, for the human resources of peak periods can be used for training purposes as well, for the granting vacations. So when you will find the demand is not much more in the market, and employees are idle that particular time, you may go for the training of your employees through the different programs, not to grant the vacations or holidays, so that during holidays you may give training to the people as the demand is more less. So you can do like this. And if the demand is more, then you are not going for this one. The left hand side one you should not go for. Now let us see the strategies for matching demand and capacity. So first is managing demand, managing capacity, and right hand side high demand, slack demand over supply. So here first is coming that managing demand. So that is high demand and slack supply. Educate customers to curtain usage during peak periods, signages or advertising. So like the peak hours, so you have to train all the people that they can able to work or handle also other part of the organizations. Second is that offer incentives for usage during non-peak periods. So you might be giving some incentives or overtime remuneration to the people so that they will work for more hours. Charge full price, no discounts on premium pricing. So whatever the services you are going to give during this particular peak hours, and you try to charge the full price, there will not be any discount to the customers. Take care of the regular customers first. So even if also you are going to do, you are charging good, you have to equally going to see that whether the customers, those who are coming, those who are the regular customers. So you need to give also special attention to those people. So these are the things mostly required during high demand and slack supply of changing demand to capacity. Second is coming, that is slack demand and oversupply. So supply is more and slack demand is reducing. So modify service offering. So if it is possible that some of the services you can change that which services the requirement is more. So if the present services what you are providing that demand is reducing, so you may modify that particular services to the most demanded services. Offer discounts, sales promotion schemes. It depends that if the demand falls, so you may go for also sales force discounts you can go for, or distribution challenge discounts you might be going for. Now modify hours of operation. So when you have seen that is the supply is slack demand is there and oversupply is there, so what you can do, the modify the hours. So you can change this particular hours, put all those people they can able to access this particular kind of services. Bring services to the customers. So all kind of services provided to the customers. So that must be get knowledge by the customer. So you have to inform. Sometimes it happening also the parlor person is also by giving one service educating regarding what else services provided by this parlor. So in order to reduce their idle time of their employees, so they are doing that. So this is all about managing demand, changing demand fit, and under that one, high demand, slack supply, slack demand, oversupply. Second condition is managing capacity. So changing capacity to match the demand. So here hire part-time employees, sometimes the demand is very high. So what you can do, like a specific festivals time, so is the petrol filling is more. So most of the customers are coming for the petrol filling. So you may require 2 to 3 employees new who can give the services to the customers. Schedule training of employees. So training is also equally you can give so that people can get these particular services at the right time. Give employees overtime. So if it is possible that if your employees are really interested to work for more hours, then you put them for the overtime. Cross train employees, that is both the cases you are going to cross train that other department people can able to do the work with the present department people. That is the way you are going to do. Then outsource rent facilities. So otherwise, if it is not possible, that you can go for the rent facilities. Rent wise also you can give this particular things. Next is the scheduling, timing employees. So managing capacity, slack demand, oversupply. So oversupply is there. So what you can do? Scheduling training of the employees. So you can give the training of that one. Maintenance, repairs. So that particular time demand is less. So what you can do? So you may start also repairing your old items and doing that one. Schedule employee vacations. So when you have seen your employees are also idle, so you may go for the scheduled employees vacations. Then schedule employee vacations. So you may say to the employees that you may leave and you can go outside that enjoy this particular thing. Take on the subcontract work. So how you can able to do the subcontract work you are going to do, and you can able to do that. Now the yield management. So yield management, how to maintain it has the very nice mathematical calculations. Actual revenue by the potential revenue. So actual revenue, what we can call that, what is the service sold, what the amount of money came, that is the actual revenue. Potential revenue is what is the total demand in the market. So if the total demand is, let us say 100, and you are selling 100 each, then 100 into 100 will be the potential, but actually only 50 services will be sold, so 50 into 100. So that is the calculations how you are going to do. This is equal to actual capacity used into average actual price. So that is the total, I think I told already, that actual cases, what is the actual capacity used, and that capacity multiplied by the average actual price. Total capacity, what is the total capacity in the maximum price? So what is the maximum price you are charging? So you multiply it with the total capacity, that is coming your potential revenue. Now let us say we have to go through one example to understand it very well. That yield management percentage is equal to achieved revenue by the potential revenue multiplied by the 100. So what the revenue you have achieved divided by the what is the potential revenue came into 100. So here let us say one example, on a specific night a hotel has 100 rooms available with a full tariff rate of 120 per room. Therefore it is maximum potential revenue is equal to 100 into 120 is equal to 12,000. So now, however, that night is sold only 20 rooms. So we have calculated on 100 rooms, but actually sold is 70 rooms. And achieved an average rooms of 60 rooms. So therefore, it is achieved now is. So here room rates of 90, therefore it achieved revenue is equal to 70 into pound 90. So 90 rupees if you are going to do, that is the average price. Instead of charging the maximum price of 120, you are charging now average price is 90, and the total number of rooms sold. So 90 into 70 is equal to 6,300. So actual revenue came to the hotel is equal to 6,300. But potential revenue came, that is 100 into 120, that is 12,000. Now we can calculate the yield management percentage. So how to calculate? So achieved revenue by the potential revenue. So here achieved revenue is equal to 6,300 divided by the potential revenue is it coming 12,000. So when you are multiplying with that one, in order to find out the percentage, you need to multiply with the 100. So this is coming 52.5%. We can say here that only 52% is a utilized, means we can able to get the revenue with comparison to the total revenue capacity. So that is from this particular yield management we can able to understand it very well, that what is more is the yield management, more is your service being delivered and more is the service being sold, and the company can able to earn revenue. More is the price of this particular services, then more is the demand of that particular kind of services. So that is being calculated through this one. That is what we call it as a yield management. Now yield management techniques, how to do the yield management. When a farm is operating with a relatively fixed capacity. So when you are operating with a fixed capacity, so the thing will what happen that the capacity will be constant, but the demand may go up and down. So more is the demand, so capacity being utilized, so you may not get the profit more because you do not have the uh, options for the customers. You do not have the capacity to give that quantity of services to the demanded in the market because you have the fixed capacity. But whenever it is a low one, then you can able to use this particular fixed capacity. When demand can be segmented, so instead of the single demand, you can segment it the demand. Like we can say that in the hotels we have executive rooms, we have special rooms, we have common rooms, we have dormitories, we have also like suites. So the charges are different, same kind of rooms, but different depending on the capacity of the room, size of the room, AC condition, non-AC room, AC room, then chair table capacity. On the basis of that, the demand on the hotel rooms are segregated. Even if also flight cases, we have the economy classes, luxury classes, the it is being segmented because we will find that if we are going to make one class, then we are unable to generate more revenue. If you are going to make multiple kind of things, so you can generate more revenues. When inventory is perishable, so inventory, most of the services cases, inventory is perishable. So what you can do, you have to find out the or different types of demand you have to create so that your all inventory can be sold very well. Otherwise, let us say if I'm going to say the doctor will come from one time to another time, so it is demand is perishable, means if that particular time patient will not come and patient is coming in evening time, so it's a huge loss. So if the doctors will again come in the evening time, so that can be also possible. So when the product is sold in advance, so yield management techniques cases, if you are giving this particular service advances, nothing is going to happen. So the management techniques, you are going to say that by informing the people. So some extent people may not avail this ones, they may avail earlier. Like hotel industries, before any particular festival, they may attract few customers that please come to our hotel and take the advantages because during the peak hours we may not able to provide all the seats to the all the clients of ours. So maybe some of the people may avail this kind of services in advance. So that is the advantages there. When demand fluctuates substantially, so here demand is fluctuating substantially. So that particular cases you will find that the things can also be possible that you can able to manage this particular thing. So it can be managed properly. Where marginal sales cost is low, so but capacity change costs are high. So capacity change costs are high means and marginal cost is low means you are going to find that the day by day you are reducing the price of that particular service cost, but the capacity change costs are high. So capacity, what you are going to do, what is the capacity of yours, that more is the capacity if you are going to do, so that means it is a huge cost for you. That means what is the capacity of yours, beyond that capacity if you are going, that may be the higher cost you are going to incur. So this is the different way by which yield management techniques can be taken up. Now managerial implications. So managerial implications is that loss of competitive focus. As most yield management system focus on maximizing revenue or yield. So yield is mostly going to know that what is the sellable items in comparison to the potential products what can be sold. So it is all the products or revenue what you have generated during a particular time period. So that is whether it is utilized fully or underutilized. If it is utilized fully, then your yield percentage is more. If it is utilized under conditions are there, then your yield will be less. So that is to say, certain profit maximization may overshadow long-term competitive advantage. So here, that loss of competitive forces, what will happen that certain profit will be more, we can get that one, but overall shadow line competitive advantage, so we are unable to create the competitive advantage. So in the long term we may not get the competitive advantage, but in short term we got it. Customer alienation, customer who pays a higher price for service that other customers may feel alienated and dissatisfied. He may consider it to be unfair to him. So sometimes some of the services cases you are paying more and later on the demand has gone down and people have paid less. Sometimes the hotel charges are very high or the cruise you will find that the 0 hours in the December 21st, 31st December of every year. So zero night, everybody has booked earlier. But later on, sometimes if you are booking, sometimes the price is very high, and later on, some of the tickets may not booked because of some kind of problems arising. So that particular time, the price will fall. So the customer, those who have booked it earlier, they may have loss, and those who are going to purchase at the later stage may be going to get the advantage out of that. Now, employee moral problems. So, yield management seems to take away discretion from sales and reservation people. So, therefore, it should be properly structured to allow for some judgment on the part of the employees. So, employees can't work for more hours or can't give. So, there is a distribution on the provisions of this one. So, that is also going to give the differences in the yield management. So, although the demand is very high, but employees are unable to cooperate, they have to go to their home like that. Now, lack of employee training. So, if the training not given properly to the employees, so they cannot deliver as per the requirement of services in the market. So, yield management system will require extensive training of all employees. So, this is highly essential that if any specific program being or service program being started by any service organizations, the first part is that whether this organization has given training or this kind of services first time given by the institution, so that be careful regarding that one, otherwise people may not pay or people may leave. So in order to make it as a successful, your yield management cases, you will find that must be more, and that means that what the service sold or that is achieved divided by the potential things, so that will be more in percentage. So that is every organization has to do that one for the yield calculations. If they are giving proper training to the employees, so yield will be better. Now, managing customer waiting. So customer waiting is also very vital things in the nowadays in the market. So too many times we have seen in the market that people are waiting for more time. Sometimes thereby the frustrations they might be. Like I can say that if you are in a queue in a particular hotel, so to get the food, so it may take another 1 hour to get a seat in the hotel. So people may not wait; they may leave also places. Or if you are booking a ticket, so the queue is so lengthy, you may not interested to purchase this kind of ticket. So these are the very important things which is affecting a lot to the service organizations. So firstly, the firm should analyze its operational process in order to identify and remove inefficiencies and bottlenecks, if any. So like before doing operational part, they have to see very well that what things are feasible, what things are not feasible. So any services you are including or if you are trying to do the value additions, so that is also consuming more time. So if you'll find that kind of services you are unable to do, so it's better the time to remove it, this kind of services, and only concentrate which services you are very much strong in operational. Secondly, in case waiting cannot be avoided, so you can't say that somebody is waiting means as they are liking most, they are waiting for that is also not 100% true. Sometimes customer may switch over to one brand to next brand. If you will find that what services is going to get the present brand that is similar to the brand what he has selected now. So it is not a big issue for them to switch over from these services to the next service. So a reservation system can be used. This will help in getting customers out of a queue. So here, what you are going to do, rather than people will be in the queue, so you have to develop certain things, the reservation systems, and other kind of tele systems might be you are going to do so to reduce the queues mostly. Thirdly, customers can be encouraged to use the facilities during non-peak hours. So you invite the people or you send the informations to the people those who are very much accustomed with your organizations that do not come during the peak hours and try to come at the evening hours. So that particular time, so pick up times, how to utilize that particular time. So the first companies, two things are coming. One is that is the pick up peak hours, and second is that the customers are mostly the parallel customers. So both the cases having the problem. So what they can do, so they can shift or can say that you may do never come during the peak hours, try to come during the non-peak hours. Fourthly, greater use of online information technology. So nowadays we have seen also instead of to go to the railway counters, flight booking system. So nowadays people can able to do through their cell phone, laptops, reservation of the ticket they can able to do. So that is what the fourth thing, greater use of online information technology and can be made. Proper customers can use mobile phones. So mobile phones through also you can able to use that. Now, perception management. So, how people are perceiving about the services, like it will come late, or it will come earlier, or it will come like that. So many things are coming to the customer's mind because of the previous observations what they have done. So that is the perception. Like if you will go to a particular parlor, it will take more time. If you will go to another parlor, that is also known. So it is taking less time. So both the cases the customers are understanding it is from the market or they are interacting with the people to understand it very well. So eight principles that you can use as a service marketers to influence customers perception of waits and they are satisfied with the waiting times. Unoccupied time feels longer than occupied times. So you will find most of the time cases the unoccupied time feels longer than the occupied time. So whatever you are going to do, so here it is longer. It feels pre-process waits feel longer than in process waits. So pre-process waits means when you have already done everything, so only to 1 to 2 tasks to complete your entire process. So this is not a problem, but companies these kind of problems are arising very well. Those who have already booked the ticket, so they might have in the queue again to get this particular ticket like that. And those who are coming instantly to the organizations, they might be going to see that completely very quickly, and other people are waiting for that. Anxiety make waits seem longer. So sometimes anxiety, because of anxiety also people they are wait for the longer time and longer durations when it is going to happen, and that is happening very often. Uncertain waits are longer than known and finite waits. So sometimes people are waiting more times because they don't know why they are waiting, because a lot of issues being inside that one and they are not disclosing that one. Sometimes uncertain waits like the server problems are there, or some of the people are not in queue, or the person concerned who is going to deliver or to give this particular kind of tickets, so they may not be available that particular position like that. And finite waits. So if you will go to the same persons which is longer times, he might be gone instantly and getting these particular services sometimes. Unexplained waits are longer than explained waits. So explained waits are already being known, like if you go to the banks, it is being already written that for demand draft what is the time duration, and for the check recovery or the check to cash, so that is already being written, that is but unexplained waits are in a queue, then something has happened, some problems may arise, or there is a person is unable to understand certain things what it is being written by somebody, or there is a misunderstanding between the clients and service providers, or the uh, that is the clients are unable to explain or very well to the service provider. Unfair waits are longer than the equitable waits. Unfair waits means you are doing something wrong thing there. Wrong means showing the wrong papers to that particular kind of things. you have not taken the right kind of papers, or the papers insufficiency of documents, although it has been written, so you have not come with the proper papers. So that is unfair weights are longer than the equitable, when it has written that what the documents you need to carry and you are taking all these documents, but here you, instead of taking that one, then you are going to argue and doing that one. Now the more valuable the service, the longer the people will wait. So you know it very well, any services whose demand is very high, like if it the particular hotel is providing very nice food, the you will find from the queue that this hotel is more popular in that particular area. Or you will find booking a ticket in a particular flight, if you will find the queue is very lengthy one, so you can able to know that this flight demand is very high. So this is what more valuable the services, and the longer the people will wait. So more times these people are going to wait for that one. Solo waiting feels longer than group waiting. So individual, when you are waiting for that one, so you need to find it out what the problem has arisen. Although I came during that time, so other people are going out and I am unable to come. So solo waiting feels longer than the group waiting. So when you are going to do through the group activities, that is very much faster than the solo acting cases when you are coming alone and you are going to do that one. Now this is when managing the customers waiting. So that is a virtual queue. Virtual queue cases, mostly you will find that customers can wait remotely by using their mobile phones, queuing apps. So nowadays we have seen actually that there are a lot of virtual queues are happening, that like I can say that the operations, if you are going to do the transacting through the amounts to that one, or ordering a particular product, or by giving the OTP, it is not taking this one. So it will be making this particular queue, and sometimes is that you are selecting this particular product and the product is not coming. And during these particular functions also you will find that mostly that is Amazon cases, or you are going to find that in the case of your Flipkart cases or Mantra cases. So all these cases you will find that for selecting a particular product, that you must be in a queue to that particular app and it is not coming, or sometimes you are clicking, after clicking also the product is not displaying, or this particular product all the features are not coming to verify, or when you are comparing two products also that things is not possible and these things are not coming. Online booking systems also like that, that the price what is it coming, then you are trying to book. So when you are trying to book a ticket for a train, or you are booking a ticket for a flight, or you are booking a ticket for a movie, so that particular time you are selecting the tickets, tickets or like that. So when you are selecting, sometimes this web page is not opening. So frequently the web page is cancelling, or web page is unable to show, or sometimes some hurdles, or sometimes pop-ups problems, or the services is unable to they are writing that we are unable to open it up, like that. These are the few things are coming mostly in the virtual queues, and customers are waiting to get their services. They have might have transacted before so many hours, but still also this is in pending, and they are writing if it is not sorted within 24 hours, then you can do. So customers are also in a doubt whether they got the reservation ticket, or they got a hotel book ticket, they already done that one or not. If it has not done also, they are not writing, they are writing simply that your billing is pending. So pending, what to understood that if it is pending, customers are trying to believe that yes, after sometimes it will take it and I may get my tickets. But sometimes it is happening also, after pending it is writing that this is not possible, this tickets are not available, and you can take back your amount of money. So that create a problems that already you have paid and you are in a queue, but you are not getting the advantage out of that one. Somebody else which is in the bag also, they are getting the advantage out of that one. So here you will find using the mobile phones, then queuing apps, so where you can going to do the queuing, and online booking systems. So when you are going for the online booking systems of any services, products or something like that, so how are you going to book this one? To reserve their place in a virtual queue, they will be notified when their virtual queue time is up. So very often we have seen also that if you are going for that upgradations, or you are going for that the service antivirus cases, or any uh, computer services, that is the payment get being paid to renewal. So renewal, sometimes it is taking time and renewal is not there and your time will be over. So what it will going to happen? Tomorrow you are going to try, or after 1 hour you are going to try. So again, this is again also the waiting times will be there. So here systems to reserve their place in a virtual queue, and they will be notified when their virtual queue time is up. So when the time will be over, so that is automatically it is going to show you that this is. So sometimes is it happening also that we are trying to make a call to somebody and it is writing that he's not in a position to take your call. So that means that is that particular area is disconnected, or this area where he is actually some extent that internet is not coming very fast, or the cables are not coming very fast, so that the customers can able to get the service. So there is no need for a physical waiting line because the position in the queue is secured. So sometimes the position in the queue is secured because that after certain timing this is coming, just like when you are going to make a calls to the company customers care. So they are trying to say that you please wait for 2 minutes, or you wait for 3 minutes. After that the company executives will come to interact with you. So that kind of things also this is happening. So people are waiting, so that's a queue. But in physical waiting cases you must be there in the line, so that wait. So virtual queuing adds the improvement of operations and perception management techniques for the service world. So here, by several times, if you have gone through this kind of processes, then you are going to be perceived that yes, this kind of problem will arise. So service guarantees are the things mostly companies are trying to give, that within that period of time, if you are not going to get as per the conditions being maintained with the customers, so they will provide it is the free kind of services to you. So implementing a guarantees force the companies to focus on customers. So mostly giving to the customers. Offering a guarantee provides employees with a service related goal and business. So when you are giving these particular service guarantees to the customers, that particular time also employees are going to be trained, and employees are also loyal and moral, having the moral to the customers to give this particular kind of services. It encourages customers to complain and provide the opportunity to the organization to make amends, thereby retaining the customer. So when guarantees are there, so it is encouraging the customers to, if they are not, whether they are coming under guarantees or not, if they are coming under the guarantees, what kind of services they are going to get. So here the customers, the complaints they are going to make, that what it is being mentioned in the guarantees, if they are not getting it for the mentioned things, so what this is going to happen, that a customer may make the complaint, and service provider they have to see the guarantees what they have provisions are there. So it's for that service guarantees they are trying to give this particular kind of things. So this is all we are going to talk regarding that how the service capacity and demand can be managed, and ended up with the, that is the warranties. So demand is the very often fluctuating, and at the same time also your capacity is more or capacity is less. More is the capacity you can handle the demand, but at the same time that is underutilized. More is the demand, how to do that one, so how to utilize that one, because the service demand will not be always same. So if it is more demand, if it is not utilized properly, so there may be a loss for the company. So capacity and demand must be exactly equal to each other, so that must be seen and predicted. Thank you.